Protecting the elderly from abuse, that's the goal of a number of bills announced today in Lansing. The 16 different bills address both physical and financial abuse of the elderly. Some create harsher punishments for people convicted of abuse. Others make it easier for people to report problems and for police to investigate. And some add warnings and protections for elderly people who allow others to help with their finances.
Advocates say that each year nearly 80,000 Michigan seniors are victims of elder abuse, and often these cases go unreported. We're joined by Steve Chambers from Citizens for Better Care. It's an advocacy group for senior citizens. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So some of these measures that Rick just outlined, what are you seeing? Do you think they're necessary?
Absolutely, I think they're necessary. There has been very few laws that are effective and powerful at deterring future abuse. Nationally, the statistics say that 1 in 6 abuses are actually reported. So there are 6 times as many victims as there are reported abuses. So in Michigan, with 80,000, abuse cases, that's roughly 500,000 of our Michigan consumers that are facing elder abuse.
And why do you think those cases go unreported? What are some of the problems there with that?
Primarily, the offenders of elder abuse against the victim are typically family members or somebody that's very close to them, a friend, a caregiver. And the fear is reporting them, they will then have nobody to care for them and may wind up in a nursing facility or destitute with no funds and no way of maintaining their own home.
So it's usually a family member.
Most often,
and they're afraid that, okay, well then I'll just be put in a, not cared for properly or put in a nursing home.
Yep.
Wow. And are we talking both physical and financial abuse when you talk about family members?
Yeah, statistically, both neglect, whether it's, self-neglect or lack of care provided for the person, and financial exploitation are the most reported types of abuse in Michigan.
So what are some of the common signs, let's say, family members need to watch out for if, to make sure that their parent or somebody else in the family, maybe somebody they don't see that often too, make sure that they're okay?
Well, regular contact is one of the most important. Social isolation is a major factor in allowing abuse to continue. Fear or edginess in front of a caregiver or family member is another key indicator. Exclusion from major decisions or discussions of financial matters or health care planning or things like that. Decline in personal hygiene, lack of access to medication or to their doctor. These are just some of very many indicators that can...
Yeah, and ask the questions.
Absolutely.
Right. What should somebody do if they say, okay, I think something's going on here? What if it's a neighbor or somebody like that that isn't involved with the family and they think there might be some sort of abuse, whether it be financial or physical? What do you suggest to people like that?
The most important thing is to report the concerns. Don't assume that somebody else is doing it. Take action on behalf of the vulnerable person. First, you should contact Adult Protective Services. They can be reached statewide at 1-800-996-6228. And if it's imminent or life-threatening, contact the police or 911 immediately.
Don't wait.
Absolutely.
Steve Chambers, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.